Team with the little
Is the
more
NFL
revenue.
rigged? That sounds just like a rigging.
Well, sports are rigged.
Yeah, and that's our job is to figure out which side of the rigging.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
is gonna win.
that's all we're trying to do.
That's all we try to do here. But yeah, those refs are going to be winning some money.
Welcome back, degenerates. Did your team just lose in the college football playoff? Because I know someone who's did. Horns f***ing down. Now let's
stay
get in.
up, baby.
Hey, let's get into the Wednesday roundup.
Horn, stay up.
As Ryan so eloquently mentioned, this is the Wednesday roundup. And first, before we get into all of the college football madness, we have to recap how the Mortal Lock Parlay did.
Oh gosh. Do we have to?
We have to.
Started looking good. Oh,
Wait,
No.
No.
oh wait, yeah, no.
It never did.
It never looked
Never
good.
beginning to end.
Mine looked good.
Ryan, we'll start with you.
Yeah,
Mine
mine was the
looked
best.
ripped.
You had Auburn -7.
Oh,
Correct.
that.
What were they down in the first quarter?
Like 30?
21-0.
Yeah, it was.
That sums up that more.
21-0, that's all you need to know. Sharp.
It was so bad. I didn't think it could possibly get worse. You're
almost
now
did.
8-11 on the year.
Yikes.
I one upped you. I had Liberty.
Yeah.
Liberty plus 17.
Oregon doubled that.
Yeah,
More than
that,
doubled.
that wasn't close either.
The score is 45-6. I do want to say one thing on
Liberty
my
did not
behalf.
win 45-6.
Liberty scored a touchdown first.
Oh,
Didn't get the extra point. Gave up 45.
5 minutes.
But in the morning, I was like, I'm so sharp. Like this is the best
3
thing.
minutes in. Sharp.
Yeah.
This is the best thing ever. I am 9 and 10 on the season. Mike,
flip flop those numbers.
your best mortal of the year.
That was
hit
the
by
sharpest
42.5 points.
Georgia minus the million against Florida State. They win by
dogs.
2 million.
They won
Never
by
they
two.
won by-
They won by
down.
2 minutes.
Never a second was not the best pick I've ever heard.
No, I mean that was literally one of those that when I looked at the lines, I was like, oh, this is super obvious and way too
Yeah.
low points to give to Georgia.
Yeah.
When FSU had 19 plus players opting out, like give
Easy.
What was,
up
the,
the
what was the
dogs.
spread at kickoff? Like 23 and a half?
Yeah, 23 and a half.
Unreal.
You locked it in at 17 and a half or something?
Yeah.
That's a great
6
pick.
points.
Easy.
Mario, you had LSU.
Rode with this team. This team did not ride with him.
Listen. I knew this wasn't gonna hit. I
Yeah.
mean, I was praying someone else missed because I knew this wasn't gonna hit. LSU over. I mean, it's a million.
I mean,
If it's a million, it's a billion. It's a trillion. I mean, it always hits.
you're so sharp because you knew
It
the
wasn't
spread wasn't going to hit and the over was, but you mortaled the spread.
Yeah, because
I
it
like
was
that.
the last time I could mortal LSU spread.
Yeah.
Until next season. It was kind of like I knew Liberty was dead when you mortaled it inside.
I thought they were going to win outright.
I literally knew that was. I was like in my personally. I was like, yeah, I don't like that, but I love that you mortaled it because it was just someone had to mortal Liberty. That's
Yeah.
how I felt about LSU. Like someone had to mortal LSU.
Someone's got to pay Vegas. I mean, I had
And I was that guy.
I had $5,000 worth of parlays where
Yeah.
the only leg that hit was Liberty plus
Yeah,
17.
I canceled out on the LSU over. Shout out Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, what a man.
He could sling it.
What did you?
No, Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors. I mean,
So you're now 12-7 on the year. Still very, very
Good.
good. Tate, you had Wyoming. Their offense was miserable in the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl.
yeah, I was surprised.
How
I thought
dare they be visible in the Barstool Sports Bowl?
Yeah.
I mean, they won the game,
No, it
but
was-
they never.
Well, like
covered.
LSU, they won the game. They didn't cover.
Dude, the whole
Yeah.
game was just miserable. I mean, it was just miserable.
Yeah, those offenses were.
No, it was so
They're
bad.
bad.
I mean, that was
Really
really,
bad.
really
that
bad.
was a great.
I don't know
exhibition.
what they were doing. They were trying to run the ball. They just ran into a wall every single time. It was unbelievable. I mean, it was stupid. It was literally stupid. It was the worst.
I
game
mean,
ever.
it's a problem.
They
they've
gave up a
yet to solve.
75-yard touchdown. Like the only
They won the
touchdown that
game.
They scored.
They won
Yeah.
the game.
They
That's
won
all
the
that
game.
matters.
They won the game.
I mean,
that's
they
all that
kept
matters.
thinking
They won
if
the
we
game.
keep running, maybe one of these runs it'll break off.
Yeah, it's the Air Force strategy. But that was the Mortal Lock parlay. 1-4 on the week. Not good. Really.
I mean,
Bad
What
day.
about Mike's more? Oh yeah, you said it, Georgia. Yeah.
Yeah, Georgia. Yeah,
Yeah,
1-4.
that was great.
All
That
of
was
us
a great
except
morning.
for Mike.
Yeah.
Going to the cards.
42.5 points.
1-4.
It was my best week of the year.
Bang.
Man,
7-5 college football. Finished the season, the regular season college football,
8-5.
above 500.
8-5 college football.
What'd I say?
7.
7-5.
Oh, 8-5. There you go.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, give
8 and
yourself an extra
5.
win.
8 and 5
Yeah.
college football. Finished the season
him the extra
50.4%.
one.
I love
Ooh,
it.
I love that.
The
I
way
said I was
more
gonna get above
impressive
500 at the end of the year.
You finished
I
it.
knew it.
Bang.
7-1 NFL.
That's insane.
Wow.
That's
I mean, come
actually
on.
What a
insane.
great week.
That's huge.
I mean, come on.
Have a
Yeah,
Great
it's
week.
insane.
I mean,
Wait,
no
it's the
one's
be-
done that in NFL this year.
No one's doing
Like
these.
that's insane.
No one's doing
putting
this.
up numbers like that.
53% now on the year.
Wow.
53% now on the year.
Ooh.
We're
Let's
getting
go.
those numbers up. My total 195, 184, and 8 for 51%. So
Love that.
That's
Good
beautiful.
stuff. Good stuff.
I'm
What a
happy
week.
with it. Ryan,
That's impressive.
big week in college.
Oh, I came back after the 2
17-11.
Big week.
Yeah.
54% on the season in college.
Yeah, I was
so
murdered.
excellent.
Yeah.
Electric.
8, 11, and 1 NFL.
Yeah,
not the best.
great.
Not great, 51%. 257, 228, and 11. A lot of games. 53% of the year.
I'm still doing it. I'm still doing it.
Still putting up numbers.
I'm doing it.
You're still doing it. Tate, a big week in college as well. I mean, you think we know football, guys? You think we know college football?
College is
Man,
free.
come on.
College
Come
is
on.
absolutely free.
10-4 college football,
Dang.
53% on the year.
Let's go, kid.
3-4-1 NFL. Again, pretty. Your NFL has been
Dude,
just
it's
like.
just been like this just the whole year. But college football is doing me this.
Yeah, you're at 47% in NFL now.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that
um,
equals out to over.
180, 177, and 10,
That's right.
50.4%.
3 games above 500.
And
Dang.
we got 1 week left of regular season NFL football.
Oh,
So,
no.
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
We don't have a good week this week.
Line in the sand week, yeah.
Line in the sand week. For
Mike,
sure. I gotta be
College
college.
football week of the year.
Ended on a winning week for college football.
everything week of the year for Mike. 8-7 college,
Yeah.
47% on the year.
Yeah.
That's a great season. That is a
And
great.
if I'm not dropping by 2% in a certain week, then it's a good week.
That's a great week.
Yeah.
6-3 NFL.
At least
Oh,
maybe back to
Hey,
week one.
Guess who's almost at 50%? 49.6%. 1 game below 50.
One game away, Mike. You got it this week. You're gonna end it.
You're gonna end above 50.
above 50.
You got it.
We're gonna all end above 50.
Michael's season ending above 50 is going to be an uphill climb. Though.
Oh, yeah,
147, 157,
Hey,
and
that's
5.
10
right.
games
He
away.
won.
48%.
He got 4 games back this week. It was 14
Now you
last
need
week.
10
It's
games
10 this
back.
week now.
Yeah.
Big week.
Come on, Mikey. Just let's do
Big
it.
week.
Cutting it away.
And lastly, Mario college football. You split it down the middle.
You guys, dude. Okay, I was literally gonna be so sharp this week in NFL. No, we have video footage of it, so I don't even care. I was so sharp this week, and I flipped. Not kidding, 5 games to support your Mortals, which they all missed. I flipped off Oregon. I flipped off of Missouri.
Wait, you flipped on to me, which hit by a mile.
Yeah, that was the only one that was kind of
So,
a
hey.
break even. Yeah,
Hey,
but
there you
no,
go.
I mean, me and Tate went through. I flipped like 4 or 5 games. We're all losses,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Georgia.
except for Georgia, which
sharp.
was a
That's
break
sharp.
even. It would have been a huge week. That's all you need to know. But hey, we still finished 9-9.
Yeah. No, 51% on the year for college.
there you
So
go.
you'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
9-5 and 1 NFL.
Good stuff.
Great in the NFL.
No, I'm seeing the board.
52% NFL. Overall, 212, 201, and 8. 51.3%.
Dude, what a comeback.
Yeah, what a
Back
great
when you're that
comeback.
high.
Had a
after
kid.
everything, It's crazy.
It's just unreal.
Not a kid.
It's unreal. You're gone.
I mean, that's how you do it.
Yeah, I mean, this is how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
But we got a lot to get into. We have a lot to
yeah.
talk about. That was our picks. We had a pretty eventful weekend. So without further ado, let's get into this week's recap. There's absolutely no better place to watch football games than the Mecca, the hub, the home of
yeah.
gambling, Las Vegas,
Oh,
Nevada.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
And we went on an absolute send.
Yeah,
this
it was
weekend.
crazy. Oh, my God.
We went on an absolute send.
Oh, 4-day bender.
Some of us got there on Thursday. We left on Tuesday. There was little sleep.
Possibly showed up 20 minutes before we filmed.
Yeah, they said never. No, that's unconfirmed.
Nobody knows.
it's a rumor.
But we did Vegas right. We had a table for Odessa's first ever
yeah.
DJ set
It
on
was
Friday night.
insane.
Shout out Ryan.
It was
Shout out,
insane.
Ryan.
It was lit.
Yeah,
Best night
absolutely.
ever.
We saw Zed on Saturday night. Not much sleep either of those 2 nights.
Nothing. Zero.
Went out to a pretty cool place. What was it called? Area
15. Right.
on Sunday. Watched football at the sportsbook all Sunday.
You
And
guys have
then
any footage of this?
Unconfirmed.
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 you'll see. You'll see
Maybe a few
eventually.
highlights. I don't know. They
Yeah,
might make it
there'll be
into
some highlights coming out, maybe in the form of some shorts, but you'll definitely get some content. We had some
Oh,
good,
yeah. You get some
we
match
caught some
with
good
it.
fun stuff on camera. And then again, sportsbook for all of the college football playoff games.
Crazy.
That's electric.
Crazy.
What
mean-
a place to watch it.
for the
Yeah.
college football
Oh,
playoff
snaps.
games.
Yeah.
I mean,
they
just
had a
Mike,
table.
where'd you watch the college football playoff games?
I was in my home. No other place to be than I'm feeling.
no place like home.
Yeah, no place like home. Had all my gear around me and
Yeah, let's get right into that. Did your gear around you help the fact that Texas
Nope.
once
Played their
again
worst game
blows
of
a
all
big
time?
spot? Yeah.
no.
Walk
I
me
mean,
through kind of
Yeah.
how you
I
felt
wanna hear this.
as you saw Texas.
Let's start pregame. Going
Yeah.
into it, game's about to kick off.
Were you
How are
feeling good? Were you
I
feeling
felt
good?
great.
Felt
You
great.
felt great.
I felt unbelievable.
Like confident, or were you like at all nervous?
I mean, every big game you're gonna feel at least a
little
little bit of
nervous.
nervous.
Like I noticed you don't have a hat on, the Longhorn hat this week.
Correct.
I've never worn. Oh, the cowboy hat. The cowboy hat.
He's never
When you said the
worn- he's never
Longhorn
worn a
hat, yeah. When you said a Longhorn hat, I was like, I don't have one.
Cowboy
But-
hat
Okay, cowboy hat, very different.
for
But
your
no,
Texas Longhorns.
yes, no, I'm
So
not
you've,
wearing
you're
one.
done supporting them.
No,
Oh,
you
Just until
literally
next-
asked
just
a
until
question,
next-
wouldn't let me finish answering.
okay,
the
okay,
question.
okay. Mike, go
And
ahead
now
and
you're
finish.
just
Floor is yours.
needling.
Mike shit. Go ahead.
Yeah, pregame, a little bit nervous, and then of course during the first half, I saw that
Washington scores first. How are you
Washington
feeling?
scores first.
Right away.
Well, I mean, honestly, we came back and punched them right back in the throat. I mean, we scored it up
And
really,
then
really quick.
they punch you back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And then you threw another punch back.
yeah,
They muffed and then you punch back.
Yeah.
yeah. That was
Like,
actually
how you
after
feel
like
when they're
2 or
scoring?
3.
Like, are you like,
3
oh,
outs.
like were you expecting this? Or you're like, oh, they're looking a
For
little
sure.
different. Like, you know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, at least for the first 2, Washington gained a lot of yards off like at least one like deep pass.
Yeah.
And that's kind of given. Like that's Michael Penix's game. Like you just know it's going to happen. I mean, it's funny because when Ryan and I were talking about this before, he was like, the only thing you have to do is just double team Odunze.
Yeah.
And like
they forgot about
they're-
Jalen Polk and McMillan.
And
Dude,
Jalen
McMillan
Polk just-
had the day of his entire life.
well, Polk had the day of his
Also,
life, too.
you-
Literally
Polk had 2
both.
touchdowns
Also,
and 200.
if you
yards.
play against a
McMillan had one.
Heisman favorite, you might have to touch him during the
Oh,
entire game.
Well, he's been sacked only 11 times all year. It's pretty hard to.
No, I
You know what I'm saying?
agree.
Like, if you have to send blitzes to change up his. I mean, the guy was.
I mean, yeah.
balls
I
like-
mean,
Michael Penix stats: 29 of 38, 430 passing
Yeah.
yards. He averaged 11.3 yards per pass.
yes.
he had
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
day.
no, I
And 2
trust me,
touchdowns.
I watched it.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and
a
he
perfect
had
game.
like 7 or 8 seconds in the box, literally
I
every
feel
single
like you guys are just
snap.
okay with rushing 4 and hoping that it worked every
No, I mean,
even
well,
when they
definitely
rushed
not true.
5, like it just somehow, it was just crazy. Like
I mean,
they
we
just
literally couldn't
near.
get there. I also look. I'm not gonna point fingers and say that it was the ref's fault because it's definitely not the ref's fault.
Yeah, it was-
but I do think it's kind of crazy that Washington goes into this game as the 16th most penalized team in the nation and doesn't have a penalty for 3 quarters. Like a single penalty called
I
on
mean,
them
they
for
didn't
3 quarters.
commit a penalty.
That's
Clean game.
I mean,
Well
there was
coached.
That's called
that's-
a well-coached team.
Well-coached team.
I mean, you can't get mad at the refs
I mean,
when your
there's
dude is
at
literally
least-
like moving before the ball snapped or like
No,
holding. You know
I'm
what
not.
I mean?
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's more in the coaching than anything, really.
yeah, Sarkisian just.
I think the biggest
I think
part-
it was personally. Sorry to cut you off. I just think personally, just real quick, I think it was Washington's been in more big games this year.
no, I know, and you
know what I
talked
mean?
about that last week
Yeah.
too. And it's like the people who have like more experience in that, they know how to like calm themselves down and kind of just get the job done.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that point. But all I'm gonna say is that especially when we point fingers at Stark, it's like, do I think the reason why we hired him and the reason why he's known is for his like offensive mind. Our defense blew it. Like our defense lost us that game 100% of the time. Like we got it back into Quinn's hand. Like Quinn had it.
Quinn
on,
wasn't amazing though. You know,
Quinn wasn't
We knew that,
amazing.
though. Win or loss, we knew that was
Look.
coming.
Quinn wasn't amazing, but Quinn wasn't the one who got 2 turnovers. It
That's
was
true.
it was each one of our running
No,
backs.
it is
both.
true. Your running backs being one of them's a freshman.
And at,
Yeah.
the,
Well,
at the
dude,
end of the
yeah,
game, Washington
Jaden Blue and-
Washington tried to give it back to you.
They
Oh,
did-
100
they really tried to let
dude,
you.
you
that
should have
and
had
the
the ball. You
injury-
should have got the ball back with 14
with 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Yep,
on your
100.
own
Yep.
So I mean,
yep.
even getting a shot was like a blessing.
And
No, I
30.
completely agree. I also
Yeah. Yeah. And then they touched you on the 10 and gave you.
Yeah, that was a crazy game, but
Oh, and then they picked up the flag with the block in the back.
No, they called the flag. They
called
ran
the
into
flag.
the they ran into the kick
You
return.
should have got the ball.
That's
Should
not
have had the
one
ball
I was
in
talking
like the.
about.
Also,
Not the one I was
worst
talking
play I've ever seen in my life by a quarterback in a big game. The bubble screen.
Quinn Ewers.
When you were starting the bubble
It's
screen
fine.
to waste clock.
Dude, I thought the same thing.
that was one of the worst plays I've ever seen in my life.
So
yeah.
when Stark talked about that, because he was asked about that specific play after, he said that the whole the point of that play specifically was to get the ball into Whittington or Sanders' hands, and when both of those 2 options were covered that play,
it away.
then it was kind of that probably.
But also,
should
Quinn
have
wasn't
been
even
it.
like
But what's the difference,
getting
right?
sacked to fall.
What's the difference of throwing it
Yeah, he
away
made
or
that read
gaining
a
4
little
yards?
too
You get
quick.
4 yards and you have the exact same amount of time.
You do not have the exact same amount of time.
They lost what, 2 seconds?
They could have one more
Gain
play.
the ball there, going out
I
immediately.
mean,
It went from like
throwing the
15 or
ball
16
away and
to like
completing
11
a
again.
screen when there's 15 seconds left in the game are very different things.
yeah.
Also,
tackled-
just the play. Everything.
Well, also
was-
if he's tackled and bounced, the game's over.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
So
he has to get it
There's
on.
zero logic
That
to
was the
ever
worst.
complete a pass.
It reminded me a little bit. It gave me like whiffs of like the Milrow 4th and goal play where he didn't even look for a pass. Like he just got the ball and just dove straight.
Well, I think that was the
That
play
was
call.
the
yeah.
the guard
That was-
pulled and
Yeah, that was the play call.
No, I know that was the play call, but like it just like
Well, let's go. Yeah, let's go ahead and pivot to
Oh,
the.
yeah, we could
let's
pivot
go
to Bama.
the Michigan Alabama game. So obviously, as we just said, Washington won against Texas 37-31.
tough loss.
Tough loss.
Yeah,
man.
it was tough.
Not like
Me
three
and
of
Tate
us.
though
And
riding Washington.
Again,
Promised land.
underdogs outright again.
well,
We
us
have
three
one more-
called
you
it.
have one more try.
If you watched last episode, we literally called the game.
Yep.
Exactly.
The next game, the underdog did not win. Alabama, Michigan. Michigan wins in overtime by 7. What a comeback.
There's nothing I couldn't have hit in this game. I had everything. Everything.
You had everything.
I literally hit everything. There's nothing I missed.
You thought Michigan would win, but you bet Bama big. That's what you said on the podcast.
No, yeah, I did. And then I happened to be looking at the screen, and I saw him at the slip. I went up to the guy and said, "What is Michigan's money line right now?" And he threw out some numbers, and I threw him back some numbers. So it ended up very nice for me. I knew going into that fourth quarter, Michigan was winning no matter what. I just knew it. There's nothing that could change my mind.
Well, I mean, J.J. McCarthy played. He's not a fantastic quarterback by any means.
No.
Played perfect.
But he doesn't turn over the
yeah.
ball. I mean, he tried his best on the first play of the game.
No, he tried for
But
us.
it's the first play. Like, after that, I mean, he really didn't do. He had some crazy, insane plays.
Dude, I
Yeah.
completely agree, and that's kind of what my biggest takeaway was from yesterday, is that all the shit that I've talked about JJ McCarthy this whole year and how I've said that he's not really anything, the whole team is based off their defense, and that Blake Corum is pretty much the only part about it. Dude, I was most impressed out with JJ McCarthy out of any 4 quarterbacks that I watched yesterday, in my personal opinion. No, look. When we're talking, stop.
He's saying
Stop.
like the
when we're talking about the
distance of
standard,
impressive.
the standard versus like what they like actually performed at. I mean, dude, Michael Penix throwing for 300 plus yards is a standard.
430.
I completely,
as 4.5 point
I
underdogs.
understand. That's also
Second
like
most all time, only under Joe Burrow.
As 4.5
Look.
point underdogs.
whatever. That's my personal take. I thought JJ
No,
McCarthy
it's fine,
played
yeah. It's
amazing.
personal.
No, I thought he played perfect.
Yeah, no, McCarthy.
Whatever.
He threw for 221.
care.
It's a big game.
It's a big game for
But he
him.
did have 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. Milrow, though, their offense was miserable. They just could run the ball.
It was, and I think I was talking to Tate earlier.
He threw for 116 yards.
Yeah, this was, I said earlier in the year, and maybe I was a bit too harsh, and I really didn't explain it enough, but this game kind of summarized how I felt about Alabama all year. I said earlier in the year, at some point, I don't know which episode, that like Milrow's not good. And maybe, yeah, that was a bit harsh. Obviously, he's a good quarterback, but he's not good in the sense of you can tell which ones are going to excel at the next level. Like you can just see which ones can like read a defense and go through progressions. He does not have that capability. Like he needs a play called predetermined, and it needs to be open. If it's not open, he just runs.
Well, Michigan-
and he's blessed like physically. Like and this game literally came down to he's just not able simply to like lead an offense and like make plays off script. If the play's not open and he just takes off, and whether it works out or not,
what he's gonna do.
because like that was my biggest play.
disagree.
That was my biggest like because I didn't want Alabama to win, so I was happy Michigan won. But I was watching the game, and my dad literally asked me, he's like, "What would you do if you were Nick Saban right now on this 4th and goal call?" And I was like, "I would put the ball in obviously Milrow's hands to run because his legs, I trust his legs more than him throwing.
Yeah.
But you need to roll him out and like give him a passing option just so he has that threat." And it was like him just sprinting up the middle
So bad.
when it was literally like there was just no hole. And he quite literally started diving before he even reached the line of scrimmage. It just completely summarized how I felt about Jalen Milrow all year. Like he just not a cerebral quarterback.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong though. Like I feel like Michigan had a perfect game plan to play against.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Like,
their
their-
defensive
Well,
line
they got
was
so much pressure.
their
I don't know
defensive
if I
line
agree
like
with that.
they blitzed at the perfect times.
They had so many
and their
sacks.
secondary, like he didn't throw like his best weapon. Jaden Miller's best weapon is his deep ball, and he threw maybe one the whole game.
Well, yeah, he had
Well,
100
they-
passing yards.
well, you
And
have to be
Michigan's
able to-
defense
They
had
had
6
10
sacks.
sacks, or-
No,
oh.
they did not. Michigan's defense had 6
So
sacks. Alabama had
I think
1.
Michigan had a perfect game plan to contain Milrow. They were like, we cannot give up the deep ball, and we'll blitz like when we.
Well, because you
need
can't
to.
adapt. Like it's just if you and
So-
credit Michigan's defense. They played. I didn't think they would. Their D line would rise the way they did. They showed out.
They were all over
Yeah,
it.
they were insane.
See, I disagree.
Also,
I don't think Milrow played as bad as you think.
No, I'm not
I
saying he
think
played bad. I'm saying the decisions he made just kind of summarized how I felt all year. Because Alabama, I still feel like they kind of more choked it. Like I felt like the game was in their hands that they let
That's
it
what I'm saying.
slip.
I think Saban had a game plan that worked perfectly.
No,
and
he did.
Their defense blew the game.
Saban coached like a
'Cause
perfect game.
Milrow, if you look at like his completions and their comparatively to how many times they ran the ball, it's absurd. He was 16 for 23. There's nothing bad about that. He just didn't go deep.
Yeah,
and
he
they ran the
didn't
ball
do
50
anything.
times.
But they didn't do
because they
anything
ran the
much.
ball 50 times. Like
And a lot
they
of
were
it's, like,
choosing the
him
running.
running, yeah.
They were choosing. Nick Saban said, "Okay, I have a perfect streak right now. We're up right now. I have no reason to throw the ball."
But that's all they
Not
can
'cause
do.
they don't trust
yeah,
him.
yeah. No, I agree with you.
Saying
But that's like all they
Milrow
can.
can't throw the ball is crazy. You
'Cause
watched
he
him in the
can't.
5 previous games, absolutely ball out.
I'm not saying you can't throw in college, but I literally started
This
with
is a college football game.
No,
What
but
do you
I'm
mean
saying
can't
I
throw
started
the
with like the quarterbacks that you can see are going to excel at the next level, and that's kind of like what you see with the special quarter. Like you can tell Caleb Williams, his game can translate. Drake May can translate. Like you can just see it. Like the quarterbacks that are going to be able to translate. Like like Milrow, he's not going to be able to read defenses in the NFL. Like you know what I mean? Like it's college. You can.
They said the same thing about Jalen Hurts.
They said a
Yeah,
lot of things
Lamar
about a lot.
Jackson.
Saying that's a wild
How
statement.
Hurts is doing.
Well, I
That's
mean,
a wild statement. Saying someone can't.
And I never
Look at
said
the
that
Super
about
Bowl.
Hurts. I mean, I'm not saying I.
okay, but
said
you're
that.
saying in this particular case, Milrow, he didn't impress you.
No, he quite literally like he did exactly what he's like only good at doing, which is like primarily running the ball and like if the deep ball is not open, he's not an effective passer.
Yeah.
And I mean, you quite literally saw that on display. Ryan Lee gave you the stats. He had 116 passing yards on like 16 completions, but like 50 rush attempts. Obviously, a lot was from the running back too, but like he was running the ball a ton. That's kind of
Yeah, he had 21 carries for 63 yards.
that's all. I mean, if you take that away and he's not effective, I mean, you kind of run out of options, and you saw that at the end. I mean, first and goal, second and goal, third and goal, fourth and goal, they couldn't really get into yards.
Yeah. No, it was definitely it was one of the best college football playoff weekends we've had.
It was.
Yeah.
Like
It
both
was
games
great. Yeah.
came down to the
I think
final
the
play.
two better teams in both games won,
I agree completely.
Yeah.
That's what yes, I completely agree.
which I was
think-
happy about.
I was actually surprised at how Bama played. I mean, not to keep harping on Bama, but like I thought Michigan was a much better football team than Alabama was this year. I think this is the worst football team Bama's had in the last like
Yeah,
Definitely.
7 seasons.
And
they made the college football playoffs.
and
won
they
the
almost
SEC.
beat them.
They
Like, it was
no,
just
they
crazy.
way overperformed in my opinion because
That's all respected their coach.
they were very close to winning that game too with that
very
fumble punt.
very close.
Very close to just winning the game.
That would have been crazy.
Oh my God, that
Kinda
was
win
that
insane.
game.
That was ridiculous.
When that happened
Big
live, I
Ten a
thought
little
it was
weaker
at
than we
safety
thought.
or something.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. But we have the national championship matchup, obviously.
yeah.
Washington, Michigan. Huge game.
Huge game.
On Saturday, we are going to be posting a short little special just on the game, going through every aspect of the game, the sides, the totals, the players' props we like, the regular props, the game props we like, everything about it, coin toss, everything. So make sure to tune into that for Saturday.
Gatorade color.
Gatorade color, everything, literally everything about the game. I've hit that once in the last 2 years. I was very excited about that.
sharp.
I think I have a line this year.
Shout out Purple.
We can't give it away yet. Tune in on Saturday. But now, let's talk some NFL. The NFL Week 17 concluded last week with some absolute fireworks and crazy scenarios. Like, this was one of the crazier weeks of football I've
That
seen.
was pretty
yeah.
crazy.
We need to start with the obvious one. The Lions beat the Cowboys.
They did. They did.
Oh yeah.
That was wild.
Oh yeah.
The Lions actually won the game. They scored a touchdown. They
And
went
the
for
call-
two.
call
Then they
came
went
in.
for
Game
two.
was over. Yeah.
The guy checked in. The ref acknowledged him. Like everything, they talked about the play pregame. Like they were always doing this 2-point conversion if this came down.
There's footage of them reporting like
They got the 2-point conversion, and the ref just lied and said he didn't report.
Well, he announced
there
his
was
own number.
there was no
Yeah.
flag initially.
Yeah,
And then like 10 seconds go by, then you just see them drop a flag. Then they just converse for about like 15, 20 seconds. And
It's that sleight of
then
hand
they
flag.
and then all of a sudden they just whip out he just say he didn't report. They
That's
can't
one of the
judge it.
craziest
And
things
then
I've
they
ever
just
seen.
said he didn't report.
But is it also insane that they then still went for it
Oh my god.
instead of just going to overtime?
Yeah, dude,
Two more times.
from the 15
But
yard
is that
line.
not
No, Dan
absolutely
Campbell was
Well,
flying
then-
crazy?
well, then they like false
just
started,
tilted?
and then they still went for it, but then there's a flag, and then they went for it
Yeah.
again.
Is
and
that
then
not just like, are you just tilted because you didn't win?
I just can't believe they called that flag.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've seen
was-
bad calls before. Like we've seen
Shout out to
in the
Saints.
Saints Rams game some questionable
Throw a flag, and then just converse, pick it up.
yeah, some semi
Slide the
questionable
team with the
decisions.
little
Is the
more
NFL
revenue.
rigged? That sounds just like a rigging.
Well, sports are rigged.
Yeah, and that's our job is to figure out which side of the rigging.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
gonna
They
win.
messed
that's
up.
all we're trying to do.
That's all we try to do here. But yeah, the Cowboys technically on paper get a win. So
Yeah.
shout out refs. I saw they were probably banned from the playoffs.
They
Though.
are.
They should
are.
be, yeah.
They are banned. They cannot.
Every
play.
ref in that game cannot ref a playoff game. So,
Wow.
That's fair.
pretty interesting. Goodell has to get a couple new people in his
I mean, they
pocket.
probably still know the refs that are going to be ref, and they'll still get.
Oh, now they get to bet on them though.
yeah,
It's
now they
electric
just
for them.
yeah.
Those refs are going to be winning some money.
Oh yeah.
They are going to be getting paid. Next big topic we can't skip over. I mean, Lamar's MVP.
Yeah.
Lamar won the MVP.
Easy.
You think?
Well, he's at minus 250 right now.
No, minus 20,000.
22,000.
2,000 or 20,000?
20,000.
It's minus a million.
20,000.
It's
Yeah.
It's unbettable.
literally minus 20,000.
It's unbettable.
Yeah. Unless,
No.
you want a free $100.
I got some pocket change. I could
Yeah, exactly. No, they beat the Dolphins 56-19.
Dude,
Oh my god.
holy jeez.
Like,
What a beatdown.
the Dolphins, I mean,
Lamar 5
This is-
touchdown passes.
Yeah.
Never. It just seemed like he was toying with. It seemed like Louisville days were like.
It was so funny because the entire time when I was watching the game, I just had like before the previous week, last week, Ryan was talking about the Ravens and how you just can't touch Lamar.
He's on
Like he's like untouchable. Like
Their
you get
line
near
is
him, like,
insane.
and he just like finds the guy who's just open, and
Yeah.
then like if nothing's open, he's still so good at running and still so fast
for 7.
that he'll just like juke everyone and get like 14.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
And like I was just watching this game and I was like, this dude is playing perfect.
yeah.
He did not make a mistake, and I was like, this is just you can't.
This might be his year.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially with the way like a lot of the early season favorites are playing. Look at the Eagles. Look at the
Jags might be
Jags,
out.
look
Bengals
at the
are
Bangs.
out.
Chiefs are.
Chiefs.
Haven't done anything. Bills, you don't know.
So Lamar may or may not play this week. We'll talk about that in the NFL
Yeah.
episode. Still undecided, but I mean he's pretty much got that MVP in the bag.
Yeah, no matter what.
Shout out Brock Purdy for
Plus
fumbling.
1,600.
Oh,
My
sure.
preseason MVP bet.
You have it plus
Did I have
1,600.
that?
Lamar, yeah.
Did I bet that?
Oh,
Someone
so
else
far.
did. I forget.
I think
who
it was me. We
It was.
both
I think.
Lamar,
Yeah, it was
maybe.
Lamar.
That's the best ticket ever.
So sick.
That's the best ticket.
That's a snipe.
I mean,
1,600.
you're so
This is what
sure.
we give you.
Next, the Bills continue to just roll.
Dude, they don't lose. And they lose in ugly fashion. I mean, they win in ugly fashion, but it works.
I mean,
haven't lost.
Craziest call. Ryan did say the Bills were going to win the division like 6 weeks
gonna
ago.
win
Win out. Win
well,
out.
Mario couldn't have been more right about what the Bills needed to do to win.
Yeah,
Mario was saying early in the season they are force feeding Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, that's facts.
They're propping up all these stats and they're just losing games because of it.
yeah.
They have completely said, Josh Allen, you're done throwing the ball. You don't throw anymore. And then you don't throw to Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
We run the ball every play. And they win.
And
4
make the
straight games.
passes when you need to.
Yeah.
Make
To
the
Gabe Davis
make
and
the play.
Yeah, but
make the
never
play
here,
on
yeah.
your legs when you need to, and all of a sudden, like we're just gonna try to win and not pump up Diggs stats. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
he's being 30 yards, 20 yards per game, and they just
You
keep
don't understand.
rolling
how much
off.
You don't
wins.
understand how much this hurts. I have a $50 6-legger season total picks to win $1,200, and my last leg with 4 games left was Diggs to have 150 receiving yards.
That's so dead.
But it's dead because he's at 20 a game.
Yeah.
I need 105. In the
Well, you
last
under.
game.
I mean,
That
Josh
hurts.
Allen's averaging in the hundreds for yards passing the last 4 games. He has 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions passing over the last 4 games where they've done their winning streak. So I mean, he's
Just win. Hey, just win.
pedestrian.
Whatever you do,
Yeah.
just win.
Yeah.
I think but in those games, he has those. If they're close, he's gonna have one play that he needs to make. If he makes it and doesn't turn the ball over, they're gonna be.
I agree,
very,
and I
very
think-
tough to beat.
I think the word for that is game manager, right? Like someone.
I
that-
still think Josh Allen's
someone that you can like rely
No,
on.
he
your
is,
team.
but I think they.
unbelievably talented.
I think they're kind of holding him back purposefully
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
totally.
when that game,
to a game manager role.
Exactly.
And,
And
then
that
when
fits him
and
way
then
better.
there's those few moments like Ryan's saying where like he can make those unbelievable plays because he is that talented. And I mean, they've been on a roll ever since me and Tyler mortaled each other.
Yeah.
He mortaled the Chiefs, I mortaled the Bills.
That's what set him off.
They
really pissed
they
him
got
off.
him.
They heard Tyler was off.
They got him juiced. I got him juiced up. What
Yeah,
can I
no, that
say?
was well done. Huge game for the Bills this week.
Yeah.
I mean, they played
Just the
Miami for the
Dolphins.
division.
3 points.
As big as it gets. We're going to talk about that on the next NFL episode. Couple more things I got to hit on. Mason Rudolph is the guy.
Yeah.
He's him. Officially him.
Yeah.
Himothy. I mean, we cruise into
That was
Seattle
a crazy game to
and win.
I did not think you guys would have a chance of
Me
winning that
neither.
game. So
And
Yeah.
I mean,
Flowers.
Shout out everything. Every
Flowers.
person that was on the field for the Steelers, shout out.
it was the best game. It was
Yeah.
the
Every single person.
They played so well.
Didn't matter who it was.
Everything. The whole.
it was
Everything.
the best
team
play
win.
calling I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Shout
No
out
matter who it
Steelers.
was.
shout out Najee carrying me
Dude, he
to that
was running.
consolation bracket champion.
That's
He
well
was
done.
running like a
Well, that's
really
Alabama
well
boy.
done.
7th place.
That's well done, Mark. I got 6.
Most games I almost hit my season total in the consolation bracket.
Dude, when Mike
4
Tomlin,
wins and then 3 wins in a row.
I mean, you're like Mike Tomlin when your back's against the wall, when you might go under that 500 number.
yeah.
You just best
have
coach of all
to.
time.
Yeah, I mean, just
That's crazy.
can't stop me.
16 and
Can't stop,
17
won't
straight
stop.
seasons.
Can't stop me.
But yeah, I mean, we talked all this time about Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, everything. Here's Mason's stats for the game. 18 of 24, 274 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. That's all we need in a quarterback.
It's better than
That's what I've
Miller.
been saying all year.
274 passing yards.
Yep.
Kenny's never had 200 passing yards. This guy's never thrown for 50 yards in a game.
That's not true, but
He's never thrown
I mean,
for...
it's very limited.
We ran the ball 46 times for 202 yards.
I mean, Najee and Jalen Warren were moving.
I mean, if we beat the Ravens this week, get a little bit of help, all of a sudden we're a playoff team.
it's almost impossible, isn't it?
What?
No, it's not.
I think we need the Colts and Texans to tie.
Let me tell you the exact scenario.
You just need to win, and you need either the
So
Colts.
if the Steelers win, no matter what, we need to win.
yeah.
Bills lost, we're in. Bills
Also,
Bills out of the
Jags
playoffs.
lost.
Oh, we have a better division.
No. If the Steelers win and the Bills lose, we're in no matter what.
Yeah, I know.
If we win and the Jags lose, we're also in. no
Yeah,
matter
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Either of those two scenarios.
If we win and the Colts Texans tie, we're in. And then if we tie the Ravens, the Jaguars lose, and the Colts Texans doesn't end in a tie, we're also in. So those are your scenarios for the Steelers. It's as sharp as it gets. Basically, we just need the two teams that I really need to win: the Bills and the Jaguars.
You need the Jags. You need Jags because Bills. Oh,
I love
we'll
the
talk.
Titans. We'll talk about it.
I love the Titans.
Yeah, we got to talk about it later.
All
But
over the Titans.
a couple more quick points. Eagles just miserable.
Yeah.
What happened to them?
They're so bad.
They lost to the Cardinals outright.
Nothing
Yeah, they
new.
fall off a cliff.
Nothing new. Saying this all year.
I mean, they've
They've
just
looked the same all year.
fallen off a cliff.
They're just
Yeah.
trash.
They're
And someone who hasn't fallen off a cliff, I mean, Joe Flacco.
MVP.
Him. I mean,
I'm happy he's finally getting comeback player of the year.
oh, well, it's a tough battle. Damar Hamlin's right there.
150, I think.
Yeah, Damar Hamlin's a favorite
Sweat.
right now.
The funniest thing, I saw this on Twitter. I think Tyler sent it to me, but it was like someone was saying like, "Oh, this is the week like Browns go down. Sauce Gardner's gonna lock him up," and then someone was like, "Joe Flacco practiced against Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis, and Ed Reed
Yeah,
for 10
there's
years.
nothing that
You
can
think he's
happen.
gonna fold against Sauce Gardner? Like, literally cooked the Jets. I mean,
Yeah, they absolutely killed the Jets.
awesome, yeah.
He's so good. We're going to talk everything NFL in our NFL episode. I mean, we have a lot of playoff scenarios
Yeah.
to go over. We have a lot of games. Every game we're going to
big
talk
week
about
for NFL. Last
has
week,
playoff scenarios.
regular season.
So, I mean, that's the recap, boys.
Dude, oof.
We got a lot of games to talk
It was
about.
crazy.
But
What a week. What a week in football.
stay tuned for
Yeah.
Thursday. That's the NFL episode. Since
yeah.
there's no Thursday night
Yeah,
football.
no Thursday night
We
football.
can't give you
this week.
picks.
And then there's games Saturday
God.
and Sunday, no Monday. We're going to be posting NFL on Thursday this week. So stay tuned for that. And then Saturday episode is the college football national championship special.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're going to want to tune into both those things. Tell the people what they need to do before they leave.
You guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and share us with a friend.
Bang.
See you guys next week.
See you guys
Happy
next
New
week.
Year.
Woo, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.